is why I did not want to get the shiny version.
Well,
Joe Bellic.
we have a quorum. We have a quorum present in physicality. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I would like to submit the minutes for approval.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
The minutes for, I'm sorry, July 13th, 2023. Okay, great. Okay. Minutes have been accepted. Moving on. ZBA case number 23-23, application of William and Georgette Glennon for property located at 115 Witch Tree Road, Woodstock, New York, 12498, a 0.94 acre parcel located within the R3 district for a variance from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 4, area and bulk regulations, modification of required yards, section 260-26B to C for an 18-foot infringement to a 50-foot rear yard setback in order to install an above-ground pool and extend a deck. Why don't you come up and just give us a quick run through what you plan to do, and we'll follow along. Have a seat. That way you're closer to the microphone and we can record. So just say your name and address for the record.
William Glennon, 115 Witch Tree Road, Woodstock.
Thank you, sir. And thank you. Okay, you want to just walk us through? We have, what it is, the project, just, give us a brief. Like you're telling your neighbors what you're doing.
Okay.
That's it.
So in our backyard, we have a deck that we're going to extend out.
Mhm.
And we're going to meet that with an oval above ground swimming pool. It's approximately 30 outside dimensions, 33 by 19.
Jude, you don't need one, right? Yeah, Jude's already,
I've already seen it.
yeah, Jude's done the site visit already,
Oh,
so,
okay.
okay. Any questions from the board?
Where on which tree is this?
115.
Yeah, where,
Right,
You want to see this, Joe?
yes,
right near where you turn into Forestwood.
yeah.
So I did the site visit and when I looked at your property and it doesn't really seem like there's any place else that makes sense for you to put it. It seemed like you were pretty well screened from your neighbors. So I don't really, you haven't heard anything from your neighbors, right? No. So I think
It's all wooded with fencing.
right there.
Yeah, and I see you have a leach field to the northeast corner of the property.
Yep.
Most of the rest of the yard is all front yard, and there's no place you could have it without a variance. And it's right pretty close to the house.
I don't think there's any place else to put it.
Okay.
And it's not huge.
Construct. Yeah.
No questions.
All right. Well, Jude's done some work on this already, so we may be able to vote on that tonight, but we do that after the public hearings. She's written it up, but the vote has to occur, and then you can check in tomorrow. You can call Michelle to see if we did vote or not on this, and otherwise she'll let you know regardless.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks a
Oh,
lot.
wait, we're gonna read it.
Oh, we got to read the
I know
contiguous
there's nobody
neighbors.
here, but,
Yes,
we have the
it's
process.
part of the process.
You still can't hear me?
Sean Devine, I'll do it.
Okay.
Sean Devine, 110 Witch Tree Road, Woodstock. Martin Cornell, 21 Whitney Drive, Woodstock. Ted Badenheimer, 119 Witch Tree Road, Woodstock. Eric York, 107 Witch Street Road, Woodstock. James Robinson, 3 Stone Ridge Court, Woodstock. And Daniel, Ala, and Gregory Matviyenko. Excuse me if I butchered that. 25 Whitney Drive, Woodstock. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this case? No.
No,
So with that, we're going to close the public hearing. If you need to send us any other information, we can do so through email, digitally, or drop anything off at the office if anything needs to be said further. But since we have to give public notice for the hearing, we have to close. So with that, and then I would like to close the public hearing.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And with that, we are going to recess case number 23. This is 2323? 2323. All right, folks, thanks a
Have a
lot.
good night.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good luck.
moving on. Case number 2324, application of Kenneth Brock and Marion Proposed for property located at 48 West Ohio Mountain Road, Woodstock, New York, 12498, a 9-acre parcel located within R5 zoning district for a variance from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 5, supplementary regulations, Section 26032A, fences, walls, and gates, to legalize a previously installed 8-foot high fence that enclosed the entire property, where only a 4-foot high fence in the front yard and 6-foot high fence in the side and rear yard are allowed. Yeah, wanna come up to it?
By the way, actually, our zip code is 12409, just for the record. So basically, first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to thank Michelle for putting it all together. And basically, my name is Ken Brock. I reside at 48 West Ohio Mountain Road in Glasgow. I'm a full-time resident here at this address for 39 years. And, so we have 9 acres. I would say the deer problem that we have is we're getting worse. That, to the point where very frequently in the morning we used to see 6, sometimes even 8 deer, sometimes 2 or 3 right in the front yard, right next to the house, stomping on the gardens and eating. And it became really a problem because, we started putting much more deer resistant plants, but that wasn't, so they've done so much damage and, a lot of money because, we really like to have decent gardens, as many of us in this way. And what ended up even being on top of that is it's gotten to the point where the backyard, my daughter has a small little dog and goes out and plays fetch. The backyard became like almost a deer poop toilet bowl. It was really crazy. And I'm a golfer. If I want to go and just go and hit some golf balls and stuff, there's poop all over. And then the problem with the ticks, the dog was getting ticks all the time. So it sleeps with my daughter. She's had Lyme and Bartonella. I deal with that in work. And so we really finally decided we wanted to put a fence up. And we actually had asked a guy in Saugerties. He was going to do it, and he said, "Hey, I can't do it." And he had recommended this professional fence company, Catching Fence, out of Otisville. And I called them up. They were extremely professional. We talked about the fence and the gate that goes over the driveway. And they advised us to put in an 8-foot fence because to exclude deer intrusion, it needs to be 8 feet. And I actually have something you can remind about. I'm able to read it. I can give you copies of this. Just if you want, it just speaks to the about 8 feet for deer. You want me to read it? You want me to give it to you guys and read it? How would you like it? It's a very short paragraph.
Go ahead, Rick.
An adult deer can easily jump 7 feet or higher and can squeeze through small gaps in vertical or horizontal sliding fences. While short fences, 4 feet, may be effective at reducing damage in very small areas or around individual trees or shrubs. A quote deer-proof fence would need to be 8 feet or taller and constructed of strong impenetrable material like welded wire or chain link to be effective long term. This type of fence is expensive, is not aesthetically pleasing, and may not be feasible in many situations. However, the one-time cost of erecting a permanent 8-foot fence may be offset by many years of the damage to the area. And there's a site that's a lot, and it's an authoritative site. So, I mean, that being said, that's what the company said, that's why they advised us to do 8 feet. But we were not going to do a chain link aesthetically not pleasing fence. So we did this black mesh fence. We put the fence in the woods. Most of the fence is on our property in the woods without any contiguous people around. And the part on the eastern side along West O'Hare Mountain Road is not right on the road. It's in the trees. And the only part, we have a contiguous neighbor on the west, and there's a small part of the fence that is in the woods between our properties. You know, the gate is a wooden gate. I think it's really tastefully done. You know, we have, I think you guys have gotten multiple letters, probably 6 of them. Our neighbors who walk up and down the road, drive up and down the road, have only commented how beautiful the fence is. And it's certainly not bothersome. It's not hurting property values. It was done, I think, very professionally. You know, it's very aesthetic. And, you know, I have to be honest, to cut it down to 6 feet, it just opens us up to deer jumping over it. And it just defeats the purpose. I spent a lot of money on the fence. It doesn't make any sense. And, you know, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I put in my application, if one of my contiguous neighbors has a concern about a small part of the fence, I would be willing to put in plantings at my expense to even make it more obscure. There's maybe a couple of spots where there's not trees. I would not like to lower it to 6 feet because it's been great. We haven't had any deer. And we did have a deer come into the garden. The people more than one left the door open, and it was a real hassle to get the deer out. But I have to say, it's really been a great thing. And to lower it to 6 feet doesn't make any sense. I understand the ordinance. Maybe I have to apologize. I never knew that you'd have to apply for a building permit. There was an ordinance because this company is so professional. They told me 8 feet. I just do fences all the time.
Yeah, well, they should know too. So, you know, we have a few, well, there's a few ordinances here besides the ones you mentioned. The 8-foot fence, you know, you can have that around your garden in the backyard by ordinance. But you can't surround your main building, so you surrounded the main building and it's in the front yard.
Well, you say the front yard, but what do you mean the front yard? It's
Well, you
basically.
got your whole house, on, so pick a side. You got it, and you
it's
got
in
the
the
house.
woods. Yeah,
I'm just saying, these are the things we're going through. We've been getting a lot of fences. People want to fence up Woodstock. We're dealing with the ordinances here, and we're having a tough time unless we find a very good reason why one person should have it and another person shouldn't. That's kind of one of the things we have to look at. There's extenuating circumstances. And I understand a lot of people are putting money into landscaping and that, and the deer eating it, they are a nuisance, but you know, things have evolved, but we have an ordinance that's in place. And so it's going to be tough for us to, because we set a precedent, we just say, go ahead, Ken, that's fine. You know,
No, but why when it's in the woods? I understand if in the town of Woodstock, somebody puts up a wood fence that's 8 feet between 2 houses that are close together. I mean, that obviously is a problem. I totally understand that. But in the middle of my woods where nobody sees it, why would anybody object to that? And especially with this saying that deer can jump over a 6-foot fence. They can.
they put two 6-foot fences 4 feet apart, they can't clear that.
Oh, Gordon, do you know how much, I mean.
I'm just
that's
saying, you know,
fair, you know how much.
But there are also a deer fence that's listed in the code. It's like you can do a short fence with a wire above. But to have the full fence is specifically written in the code that it's not allowed.
But is that really? But why, let me ask you, why is that when?
I didn't write the ordinance.
But why can't that, maybe, why isn't when you see this, and I think that most people would say, if you speak to the experts, the
Right.
consensus is it needs to be 8 feet. Why would we have an ordinance that,
But we don't live in the suburbs, we all live in the woods. So the deer, they roam freely pretty much everywhere in Woodstock. We all are facing the same issue. Unless you fence in a certain specific area of your property, everybody can't put fences around their.
we didn't put it on the whole property. we
Okay,
didn't-
well, in any case, you know, the lines, you can't put them around your house, but everybody's faced with the same issue you are. So, you know, we're, you know, for us, this year has been pretty, the last couple of years, pretty much every week, there's somebody come in with this fence. It's 8 feet, or, you know, but there are other things you can do. You know, it's a tough one for us.
understand.
Because there is a precedent, and I understand what you're saying, but, you know, when you start getting down to aesthetics, what's okay for you, somebody else might think it's okay for them. So we're in a tough spot.
I mean, they
that way.
do make nicer fences now than when the ordinance was written.
I would invite you all
However-
to look at the fence. I don't know. if
Yeah,
you-
somebody will.
We will, we
I would definitely invite you to look at it. I mean, you see what the neighbors say. I mean, the neighbors don't even say it's just not bothersome.
yeah,
They
we
say-
read, yeah.
So,
I mean, you know,
so you were issued a violation, do you know why?
Yeah. Can I speak freely? The only reason I can think, quite frankly, is the neighbors to the west had applied for a variance and wanted to do an easement or encroachment. I don't know the words you use, you know, what you mean.
Yeah.
And we own the land behind them. that
Yeah, I
our-
remember the
That our
case,
kids
yeah.
will get. And we said, why do you have to do that? If they ever want to build something, you block their views. And you guys went out and said, you have 12 acres, you have plenty of place to put it. And quite frankly, they don't talk to us now, and I think,
No, they wanted to put a large structure on the side of the property, and it had no bearing on what you had to say.
yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter.
I know.
So literally, we helped them for all the years they came here. We gave them everything, of course, now it's, so I think, the only thing I could think of is this is some of the.
But it's a violation, it's come to us, and then we,
No, I understand it, but you understand, I mean, and I'm, you know, what I don't understand, and the gate is over the driveway. I mean, that's not even, the gate is shorter, but I think, you know, the gate is, you know, as we're going to close over the driveway, so that you have to be able to have a gate over the driveway.
Can only be 4 feet in front of your house.
A gate,
what's that?
A gate can only be 4 feet in front of
a
your house.
gate over a driveway?
Yeah.
Well, it's in the front yard, yeah.
We've got those too.
Oh, the gate, if you let the ordinance, I think says you're allowed to have a gate. I mean, how could you have a 4-foot gate? I mean, it's crazy. The deal just,
We didn't write the law.
I have to go up there for the 134. So, I don't like doing this one.
Okay. Yeah, Joe do site visit, yeah.
But,
I'm just not temperature, which one are you talking about?
We're just trying to be honest with you, the problems that we're facing here as a board.
no, I understand it,
Yeah.
but I mean, you know, it's not the suburbs for sure, but we're not in town where you're approaching our neighbor's property. They have to look at it. I mean, this has no bearing
yeah,
on anyone. I know you're worried about precedent, but,
It's not worried, it's what we do, it's, you know, because we're getting,
so do you want to do this?
every month, we're getting 1, maybe 2 fences. And a lot of people, you know, they want fences in the front yard to block the roads because of the traffic, they want, you know, and we're just, the code, the zoning laws and written out. I mean, not that it can't be changed, but we can't change it here and now. You know, certainly,
but don't you understand my point of view? I mean, if you want to keep the fences effective now, it's doing what it, and it's aesthetic and it doesn't bother anybody. So to change it so that it defeats the purpose and allows deer in, and it's gonna cost a fortune of money to do it, after I did this whole thing. And I really would like to see it, Joe. I mean,
No,
it's-
I'm okay. Yeah.
You know, I, the front yard used to be the other way, which is, now you'd say it's the backyard, but that used to be an entrance, so, Wittenberg. I don't know, it would be really disappointing to me to be told that, yeah, I have to make this, when you see it, to cut it down to 6 feet, to spend money to, and then allow the deer maybe to come in. It doesn't, I understand, Judy, the issue, but it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
You know, technically, if you've gotten a building permit, you don't have to for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I didn't know
one of
that.
those people, a lot of people don't know,
They don't know, right?
but that's, it doesn't mean that.
No,
It's just like anything else, just because they did the law, right?
No, I'm not saying, I am not your, I mean, believe me, I'm not, I
We've all
understand
done
that.
it,
I
I'm
was
sure.
upset with the company,
They should have known.
because I think in the contract, in very tiny print, there's something about, I didn't even read it. I mean, and these guys are experts, so I didn't even think about it. But,
Sometimes they don't get the permits for you.
Right.
The fencing companies sometimes
Yeah.
don't get.
Yeah, a better
permits.
company will walk you through that and make sure you have the permit, but they didn't seem to really care, so they should know.
but you're getting it now, but there are fences in Woodstock that I've seen numbers of them that are definitely more than 6 feet, that are,
Some of them
Pre-existing,
exist,
so they
zoning
kept them going.
yeah.
They're pre-existing, non-conforming
Yes,
before the zoning laws.
And
prior to 89.
What?
Prior to 89, some of those fences have been there a long time.
But the gate is allowed to be higher, at least that I saw in the ordinance. The
Well, I
gate,
think if you have an arch or something.
well, I have,
Yeah.
I mean,
But the front yard is supposed to be 4 feet.
the gate,
No, the fence in the front yard.
And gate.
but a
So
4-foot
it's-
fence is absurd, Joe. I mean, why would you put a fence? It's not, I'm not doing it to exclude anything but deer, and 4 feet is a joke.
Well, I'm just saying it's not 8 feet to 6 feet all the way around front. It's 8 feet to 4 feet. It's double.
So the way it's written now, okay, you have a house, let's just do a simple version of it. You could do a 6-foot fence off the sides of the house, along the back, along the sides, and along the back. And close your entire backyard with a 6-foot fence. You could have a garden within there with an 8-foot fence. around.
So
But
what about if they have this garden, you have a garden in the front yard? Why can't you have an 8-foot fence to fence around your garden in the front? We have a garden. Why wouldn't that be okay? We have a garden in the front. I mean, we do have a garden in the front.
I mean, that might even be something that you could bypass depending on the situation.
I mean, I'd
An
love to-
8-foot fence around the garden, but you can close your house, your guest house, and your garage, and the entire property, the entire property that you're using with an 8-foot fence. And that's specifically written in the code, you can't do it.
It's,
We've had a lot of places, they start turning into little fortresses, and the deer that live on your property now go to your neighbor's property. So there's that. It goes in the road, it goes to your neighbor's property. So maybe it wasn't written that deer weren't as much of a problem when these codes were written. No. But,
but
we
the
have to look
deer
at,
are
we have to
definitely
look
more
at
of a
it.
problem. There's no question to us that the deer are more of a problem. There's so much more than we ever had. There's no question about it. And I mean, the fences that I've seen the number of the fences, so it doesn't make any sense to me that there are, I don't think all of them are pre-existing. I see a number of these fences and, and just the enforcement of this, probably because of my neighbor, I have a feeling who knows, but,
I do think that they are well around. The building department has been enforcing fences They are, I mean, I think that
You know,
that's something
the building department could have just gone to a neighbor's house or something else and solved the fence.
right.
You know, it happens. They are, you know, zoning code.
But when
enforcement.
there's a, so, when you have your property, so I didn't go to all around the end of my property, so a lot of the fence is in the middle of the woods, right? It's in the middle of the woods. Why would that bother anybody? I mean, why would that bother anybody? It's in the middle of the woods.
Well, the best thing I can say right now, Ken, is let Joe take a look.
Yeah, I'll
We'll
drive by.
discuss it. If there's anything that can be done, you know, we'll certainly look at it. Okay?
I mean, what about the gardens? I mean, what about, you know, I mean, I could plant gardens along, I mean, right along the fence, would that be protecting the gardens?
They're talking about the vegetable garden.
Like you have some raised beds and you put like a small, put a fence around like a 10 by 10 area, not fence like
Around
this.
your
or
house.
fence.
But why would they say that's okay? I mean, why, it doesn't, you know, I hear what you're saying, and I'm really disappointed. I didn't think, because if it was a wooden fence all around and you're saying fortresses, I mean, you know, yes, the gate is made of wood, but a black mesh fence, it just, and saying that the gate over your driveway, not the fence, has to be 4 feet. I mean, you say that's the front yard, what is it, what means the front yard if it's coming out the other way? The front yard is more down and stuff, so I don't know.
You know, the building department determines what the front yard is, and I know they've got their system, I haven't seen your house, so I don't know.
And yeah, I'm not sure if this is the front yard, but we can find that out.
Yeah,
But the best thing is he puts his eyes on it, 'cause we can go round and round all night, Ken.
So
with-
you'll
with-
see it, then what happens after you see it, then?
we can discuss it with Joe and we'll see if there's any solutions.
You get back to me, I mean, before you make a definitive vote, I mean, you get.
Not typically,
necessarily.
no. Unless we have a solution that we can work out and put in as a condition, and sometimes we can do that.
I mean, I would appreciate it. I mean, it's really, it's been here 39 years, of a good resident of this community. It really kind of blows my mind. I hear what you're saying to me, but, you know, I just don't understand it in the context of where I live, like the Manhattan building now, how it positively affects the neighborhood, not negatively. So.
All right, well, let me take a ride up there and take a look at it. All right,
So,
So like I said earlier, we're gonna close the public hearing, but we can still, you know, receive communication between, you know, anything.
so what will I do? What will be the next step? Just like.
Joe's gonna
Joe will go.
Joe's gonna do a site visit.
And then we can come back and talk.
Well, sometimes, yeah, if it needs to, he discusses with us, not in a meeting necessarily, but one-on-one.
yeah, and then we'll go. Michelle lets you know what the decision is.
I have a very private feeling, it's
Well, have the meeting first, Kenny, all right? Have him come see the property. All right, let's take one step at a
Yeah,
time.
of course,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Wait, we gotta do the
Yeah, well,
neighbors.
yeah, I'm gonna read the contiguous neighbors, because they missed somebody wanted to discuss it. All right. Mountainville Hideaway LLC, is that right? 85 Wittenberg Road. Barbara B. Zucker, 180 Riverdale Avenue. Andy Rousing Howard, 865 West End
Oh, it's
Avenue.
Howard, A-U-D-E, Howard,
Huh?
Howard.
Oh, Al, oh, it's a U. Okay.
A-U-D.
Okay, yeah, it looks like an Andy with an E. Ron, thank you, Ken. George and Rosemary Cook, 45 West Hill Mountain Road, Bearsville. Richard Miller, Vivian Eisenberg, 101 West 67th Street, apartment 53D. Gary and what? I thought Ed Van had it right. Gary and somebody Reynolds.
It's mine, want me to read it or no?
You wrote this? Okay. You're a doctor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why.
I was
Doctor's
trying to,
handwriting.
I was trying
You
to
gotta
be
keep-
really neat.
You gotta keep the stereotype going, right?
No, I was trying to be really neat.
Doctor's handwriting. 85 Wittenberg Road, Bearsville, New York. Well, this one's really clear. Kenneth Brock and Marion Coates. Let's go, hey,
I wrote that one.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Okay, so does anybody wish to speak on this case? No. Okay, so we will, vote to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then with that, we're going to recess case number 2324. The second. There.
Aye.
So Joe will be in touch, Ken.
I may not call you before I come up, but if I need anything while I'm up there, I'll let you
Yeah, and if you want to go through, the gate will just open.
know. Okay,
You know,
great.
Just pull up and it
Opens up. Excellent. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All of you are welcome.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. All right, moving on. ZBA case 2325, application of Frank and Lori Cuneo as represented by Jeffrey Hogan, PE, Pretorius and Conrad, EC, PO Box 360, Saugerties, New York 12477. The property located 82 McGee Road, Woodstock, New York 12498, a 4-acre parcel located within R3 zoning district for a variance from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 4, Area Involvement Regulations, Section 260-16, Attachment 2, R3, Column F, for a 41 infringement into a minimum required 50-foot side yard setback in order to install a 10-foot by 16-foot prefab storage shed.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
For the record,
Jeff Hogan, engineer with Pretorius and Conrad and Saugerties,
thank you.
representing Frank and Lori. Been involved with this project since the house was built around 2018. They have a narrow right of or strip of land off of McGee Road with a driveway. There's a small bridge, goes over a creek, a gravel driveway that goes up to, I believe it's a 2-car garage. Main house to the side of it, some walks, property drops off around the back of the house to the septic system, which is down here. And then I believe about a year or two ago, he got a permit to build a fenced-in pool, in-ground pool to the, we call this the back side of the house. Off the deck. Cuneo is looking to do is,
Actually, we could probably see
You
this
can see them?
thing.
Okay, I'll open mine.
oh, sorry.
Can you hear us okay, Michelle? Michelle, can you hear us
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, the
So where's the pool?
pool is in this fenced area right here. This is the back of the house.
Gotcha.
They've got some sliding doors going to an open deck. This is a glassed in room area here,
Right.
sidewalk, pool here. What
Uh-huh.
happens is, this is basically the most usable area for the house. The land drops off pretty well, going down to the septic system, and then kind of steps down some ledges even farther heading,
Right.
I guess that would be kind of
Okay.
southeast. So the area at the elevation of the house is pretty much up in this area here. So he's got a T turnaround for a gravel area here, so he plows snow up in this area. It's electric meter and transformer here. This is kind of a grass area that he uses for just normal outdoor type things for his children. And what he'd like to do is have the shed face this direction, but get relatively close to the back property line so that this area is still available for use as the yard, because like I said, everything kind of drops off in those directions.
So is that the setback line right
This
there?
is the
at edge-
50-foot
edge of the
setback,
pool?
correct.
Gotcha. And the fence, where's the fence for the pool? Is it
It's,
within
this is the
That's
fence,
the fence,
he's
okay.
got kind of like a like a kidney shaped kind of a pool
Gotcha.
inside the
Okay.
fence with some walkways inside. So right now, this is kind of a, I did take some pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Not. These were from when the house was being built, just to give you a sense of the architecture of the house. So that would be kind of facing this direction here, because it kind of drops off. It's got like a walkout.
This is the front of the
Uh,
house.
This is
Yeah,
us.
gotcha.
The front is kind of more this direction, I would say. This being,
That's the patio.
And then from the garage corner, this is the AC unit. Kind of. So you'd be looking at the house, and you can kind of see this side of the fence, looking into this glass kind of deck area there.
Like that.
Yeah.
Right. So then the final picture I have is kind of turning my back to the house.
I have these. There's some deer.
The final photo is kind of turning our back to the house and looking toward the property line and the area he wants to put the fence. Or the shed, sorry.
You're listening to that.
Yes.
Sorry.
So basically, it's primarily just an open area right now. He's trying to do it so that he doesn't have to clear any more trees. It's I'd say right behind these rocks here, so you can kind of see he's got lawn.
This is the pool mechanical.
You know, I don't know what that is. This is an older photo.
Hey, Jeff, can you take a look at that?
Sure. Sure, I can get you.
You got another one of
I've got
those?
another one of those.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
Hey, no problem.
Unfortunately, I didn't get there to get a picture, say, from the driveway looking at it. But like I said, that area is kind of mainly the only yard area that he is using right now. Because the elevation everywhere else on the property kind of dips down away from
Right.
the
Do you
main
have,
building.
do you
So,
have this one, Gordon?
yes, I gave him a copy
Yeah.
of that. Yep,
Yep, I think that's it.
sure.
You mind if I put these on the record?
You're welcome to keep those,
Yeah.
absolutely. So he's getting you want me to wait for Joe to get back to keep talking? or-
I think we'll be
Probably,
okay.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be a pre-made, I believe Brad's Barnes he's trying to get it from. He wants to use hardy board siding, probably black to match the house. I just found this out this afternoon, so it probably isn't in your information. And he also wants to do a standing seam roof, which also would match the house.
Mhm.
And we figure the black color will kind of blend in because he is kind of getting toward the property line. Even though it's just all woods, and I believe this is part of a 78-acre parcel. And the house is way down off of the D road this direction, so
Right.
this is just all vacant wooded land
Which we did get a letter from.
We got a letter,
from the neighbor.
yeah, not favorable to the project.
Okay,
So they plan to build.
Well, they said May, but
on 80 acres. I hope she could find a place that where they could.
well, I
find a
don't know,
place.
yeah, it's talking about putting it close to the property. I don't know why they would do that. They have 80 acres.
Well, they,
Right.
I think it's probably, there's a lot of drop off up there, right? It's not
I
flat.
don't know. We'll
It's
have to
not
look.
flat on the D road.
We'll take a look.
It's not,
So
I'm
it's
sorry.
not flat up there.
Right,
Yeah.
I mean, the parcel viewer
Yeah.
kind of shows the terrain.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the concerns, I think you answered that is, why isn't it within the setback? I see it's all the driveway here. This is the front yard.
Aesthetically, he's trying to keep it so you're not seeing it as you pull up to the house.
Right.
So it's kind of more to him like a side or a rear yard.
Mhm.
And then the purpose of it is he has a three-wheel, I guess, Harley Davidson trike. So he wants to put that on one side of it and then use the other side of it for pool equipment and for just normal, just to open up a little bit of space for the garage.
Said stuff.
So it's a fairly modest size.
I guess they complained about the propane tank and there's a complaint about the bridge, which is neither here nor there.
I had heard in the past that they thought that the bridge was over the property line.
Yeah, they mentioned
They
that.
were basing that on like Google Maps with everything
yeah.
shifted.
Yeah, they can be off by 30.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
was about a year ago, we heard about that, and we've never heard anything since then, so. hopefully that
okay,
issue
so-
went away.
I'm sorry, I don't have the application in front of me. How big is the shed?
It's 10 feet deep and 16 feet wide across the face.
Okay.
So that's where he said that's about the smallest he could go to get his vehicle in there.
Right.
It'd still be up near the driveway elevation. And half the other half for this equipment that he's planning.
And he has now like a two-car garage?
I believe it's 2-car, yes.
Okay.
And then he's got a little parking area here, he said, for guests. And that's where they plow the snow up into this, because this little area here is within the setback, but, and I asked him about that, and he said, well, that's where we put the snow.
Right. So it's almost like wherever he puts it, he's gonna be within the setback. It's just a question of how much. Right?
Correct.
I mean, because it's really, he's not gonna put it, it's gotta be back there somewhere. It's just a question of,
The only place you can put it
is it in this?
would be on the other side of the pool, which would not give
Right.
it much accessibility.
Right.
It
but I'm
drops
just-
off once you get
Right.
down into,
Okay, that's
To the
what
south.
it's, right.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
so what is this, what are they requesting? How close to the property line?
He's got it marked now where he's about 9 feet from the property line. Like I said, he's trying to maintain as much of his usable yard area as he can, because he has 2 young children.
Okay,
All right. Do we have any questions? Any other questions?
thank you.
Nope, okay.
Odds, evens.
I did one from tonight already.
You did one for tonight?
I did the pool, the other pool.
Oh, so you're hanging that up, you're bunching that into 2 meetings. I'll take this if you like.
But
It's a beautiful piece of property, even the bridge and everything, so.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I can do it.
That's okay, now you're just gonna get a fence next time, that's all.
No, John's gonna get them all. I had them all before.
On Michelle's side. No, I'll take it, that's
Okay,
fine.
thank you. I have one from last time too.
Hmm?
I have one from last meeting too, still.
No problem, I'll take it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
It's just the three of
Thank
us
you.
now. That's all.
All right, so, I have to read things with neighbors.
Nice to see the garage, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Lots of maps, okay, we got a lot of those. Oh, here it is.
Do you guys want those, or you want me to take them
You can
back?
take them.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Tanya Bagdasarian, 2012 Trust 107 Ocean Boulevard, Hampton, North Hampshire. That's the one we got the letter.
Okay, yes.
Tanya, also another piece, same person, same address,
Is there
different
a house
lot,
on the other parcel?
they own 2 lots.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan and Kim Kadish, 613 East 6th Street, apartment 2A, New York, New York. Ah, here's one that actually lives in Woodstock, Cornelius C. Rose, 83 McGee Road, Woodstock, New York.
Yeah, the
And
only
there's
house,
nobody on Zoom, there's Michelle, I'm sure you don't have the conflict of interest for you to talk about this. So.
I know, I hate this.
All right, so I'd like to, you know the drill, so I'm just gonna skip to the closing the public hearing.
Second,
All in favor?
Hi.
Thanks. And should I meet, you want me to meet with you or the homeowners or just go there?
I can just tell him that you'll go there on your, when you're available to go, and I'm not sure how often he's here. I think he's also
Okay, well, if somebody's there, I'll,
just, yeah,
yeah.
I'll tell him that you're gonna be coming. Do you have any, like, within the next week, 2 weeks?
Next week would be sometime next week.
Sometime next week, I
Yeah.
can tell him.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the address again?
82 McGee Road.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's right. Yeah,
It's below the intersection with Lewis Hollow. It's
Okay.
on the north side.
yeah, I used to live up there,
Oh, okay.
West Oregon Road.
Oh, okay.
And the old Lounge House was behind the Baptist church, and I understood that the Lounge used to collect rattlesnakes and extract venom and sell it to the hospitals. So there were some real mountain people who
oh,
had that.
yeah, wow.
I almost bought the house, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We get a size down.
So you moved to Woodstock? You were in
Well, that
Suffolk?
was Woodstock. It
Was
was
it?
right on the edge, yes.
Okay.
It would have been Saugerty School District. though.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it to pick a house because my son was turning 6 and we moved to Whitford. So,
Yeah,
When we did the site plan for his house, we had to put a note on the plan about if anybody saw a rattlesnake, it was somebody they had to call to remove it.
I had one in the driveway one morning, and the thing is, my kids had a toy just like it, swear to God. Curled up, it was a
Yeah.
big, large rubber snake,
Yeah,
and it was a rattler. So I got in the driveway, I'm not kidding, this thing outside, and I went and looked at it close, and I saw blood on the snake. I said, oh, that's real. And I just took a stick and prodded, and he went, ah. He had a little bit of life in him, but I was able to pick him up with a shovel and put him in the swamp. I lived in a swamp. Whoever bought that house, though, dug that swamp out. I don't think they did that legally. But, yeah, they were all, it's just all the striated cliffs up there, and they
Yeah.
loved it.
Oh, they
All
love
that
it.
rock splits up there.
Yeah,
it's
Lewis
sticky.
Hollow is known for sinks.
Yeah.
That road.
All those rocks are faces big.
Everything facing kind of east
Yeah.
and southeast, right? They like that, the sunlight, I guess.
But you know, I used to climb those hills, and there was barbed wire on every flat section. So people had livestock right up those hills back in the day. It was crazy. You'd see like one barbed wire along like a small stretch, maybe about the width of this room. You go up on one level, you look at the barbed wire.
4 feet off the ground. Right? Wasn't 8 feet off the ground.
No, I like that. It's a good close. Okay. And with that, I would like to close case number 2325 website.
Second.
Well, nice meeting you all.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You have a good night.
You too.
We're all in favor.
Hmm?
We're all in favor. We're all in favor.
Good. All of us, and we're all here.
Okay,
All right. So Joe, thanks for coming.
of course.
I'm gonna put a letter in, I guess we'll just vote on it. Authorize the chairman to write a letter requesting a second, another,
Yes,
um,
please do.
alternate.
Absolutely.
All in favor? Aye. So I'll write it. I'll
And
get on it.
also, I don't know what all the circumstances are, but yeah, I think all the members should try to do some of these in person.
Yeah. I mean, Mike hasn't come, he's been Long Island. I don't know why. He's been there for a while. Martin, I don't know the schedule. Nobody's telling me. But if we get another alternate, maybe somebody who has a little more time in hand,
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of vacations coming up. I'd like to take one.
Can we-
I'd actually like to go down when I go to the shore in September, not do Zoom meetings. The last time, it was such a buzzkill.
I mean, I don't know all the technicalities of it, but you're supposed to be a Woodstock resident
Yes,
if you're on.
Yes.
yeah,
So if people have moved,
decision.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's how, we won't discuss it here, but
Right.
can we cancel our next meeting since we have no public hearings?
What?
We have no public hearings at our next meeting. Can we cancel that meeting, next summer break?
Do we have
Joe?
any public hearings next meeting?
No,
No?
no.
Is it, oh, she's, okay.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
I guess so.
want me to make a
Unless
motion?
Joe really needs to get that last. the
Couple
case
hundred
you
miles.
have a fence, front yard fence case?
yes,
We have 60 days.
I think you have.
No,
You have it.
I
have-
did the pool.
I know
You did the pool and then you had, who had this?
Michelle, you may have sent me the
Oh,
wrong.
well, we can't close meeting yet. We have two decisions.
Okay.
Let's
Yes, we
let's
do.
knock these out.
But the one on, what is it, Country Club?
Michelle, you may
Country
have
Club
sent me the
Lane?
wrong case.
No, wait, no.
Who had the one on Country Club Lane?
Hmm?
I think you two.
You sent me one on Ohio Mountain.
I looked at the minutes and Joe has the one on the fence for the
Country Club
physical
Lane.
therapist.
Yes, but he also had the pool last
I
week.
did, the pool's done.
Did we vote on the pool?
Yeah, we were on the pool last,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We did.
yeah, we approved.
That
Okay,
was-
so then you do have that. I have the one on Ohio Mountain.
I
You
have
have the
the
one on Abbey
Blackwell,
Road.
Abbey Road, which we have a
Okay.
decision for tonight.
Okay.
Michelle, can you resend me the one I have?
Yes. I'll do it tomorrow.
And Bach. Dr. Bach.
Okay,
All right, so we have two resolutions tonight. I'd like to read, I'd like to open up ZBA case 2322. Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Right.
I did put conditions on this. If anybody read it,
I did.
because they did say that they were going to keep the growth there, so I figured I'd hold them to it.
Good.
They had no problem with the neighbor. If they moved this thing more forward on the property, it would have been right in view of the other house. So by
Right.
being back where it is, it seemed like And with the lay of the land, they learn a lot.
They're also gonna go before the planning board because that's scenic overlay.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, nobody can see it from where it is, so. And with that, I'm going to read the resolution. Based upon the standards for consideration of area variances and conditional upon compliance with state representations and area variance for a 6.09 acre parcel located within R8 district for a variance in zoning law. The town of Woodstock, Article 4, area bulk regulations, modification of required yard, section 260-26B4B for a 52-foot, 2-inch infringement to a modified 75-foot side yard setback in order to construct a 41-foot, 6-inch by 24-foot garage carport is hereby granted with conditions subject to all requirements of the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, New York State, for property law, and all other applicable laws, codes, and regulations, such conditions being maintain as much old growth as possible during and after site preparation, and replace any removals with four-season growth with proper shielding to a finished property. The vote is as follows: Gordon Lamb, aye. Mike Castiglione, absent. Judith Salado.
Aye.
Joseph Bellak.
Aye.
Marcia Zwilling, absent. Martin Mills, absent. Vote was adopted, 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 absent, and 0 abstaining. My John Hancock on this, so I don't forget. Today is the 27th of 2023. All right, moving on. Oh, let's close that. ZBA case 2322.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So be it. I'd like to open up ZBA case 2323. We have a second.
Second.
Any, this was here, heard tonight. Any discussion on this? Just quick, give us a quick run through, Jude.
I went out there and I looked at it and I did request that we could do this tonight because they started this process back in April, but there was some miscommunication with the building department, and this has gone back and forth for a very long time. It's a swimming pool, the season is almost over, so I asked if we could get this done quickly for their safety. It's just an above ground pool.
Okay.
And there's no place else to put it, so they're very protected, it's all good.
Okay, great, thank you. So the resolution based upon the standards for consideration of area variances and conditional upon compliance with stated representations, area variances from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 4, area bulk regulations, modification required yard section 260-26B2C for an 18-foot infringement into a 50-foot rear yard setback in order to install an above-ground swimming pool and extended deck is hereby granted, subject to all the requirements of the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, New York State property law, and all other applicable laws, codes, and regulations. Vote is as follows: Gordon Lamb, aye. Mike Castiglione, absent. Judith Salado.
Aye.
Joseph Bellak.
Aye.
Marcia Zwilling, absent. Martin Mills, absent by a vote of 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 absent, and none abstaining. Okay. 7-3, and with that, I would like to close CBA case 2323. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And if there's no other business for the board, I would like to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Can we make a decision right here now that we're canceling our first meeting in August?
Yes, do we need to make a resolution for that? All right, well, okay, sure. We'd like to cancel next meeting, being that there are no, and that Joseph is just receiving the thing with the fence, so obviously, you know, we give him one more time to look at it and
62
so,
days.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay.
And with that, I'd like to adjourn tonight's meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks.
No,
again.
did you sign the book for me?
I signed it.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
sign.
You got to sign too.
No, I already did mine, didn't I?
Your signature.
Yeah, you did yours. I was just missing Joe's.
I came in here and did that.
What are we
Maybe that was
talking
last
about?
year.
Oh, it's when you're reappointed?
Yeah, you did it, Gordon.
Huh. Okay, I signed too.
It's the ethics signature.
Oh, I sent
reappointed
mine.
her.
I sent
The oath. or-
mine. I mailed it.
I thought I did. Well, I guess-
All right. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, guys.
Of course.
Enjoy your week off.
2 weeks, right? 3 weeks.
4 weeks, we got.
That's
4 or 5
exciting.
4 weeks off.
4 or 5.
Oh. Are we offline?
Are you recording?
Are we done recording?